Hey man, how are you? I'm cool. It's good to have you here because we're doing a maintenance session today and I can use all the help. Glad to help? Alright, so let's start going. Welcome to the beautiful world of aquascaping. Today's video is about the art of planted aquarium maintenance. I'm going to try to take a couple of planted tanks here at the Green Aqua Gallery from 95% to 98%. I'm not going to do this whole thing alone. I'm going to have help in that in the name of Ozzy, who is our maintenance expert here at Green Aqua. He's going to give me a hand here. Hello, Ozzy. All right, so without further ado, let's start working on the first tank. I'm not sure how many tanks we're going to be able to rescape today. The 7 times world champion Josh Sims' work. Oh, thanks for the notebook. We're going to use this as a reference because this tank was built based on his IAPLC Grand Champion work, Congo. Let's start working. Yes. Let's do it. There are 2 major things that are bothering me with this tank. One of them is the very uniform center of the tank, because in this picture you don't see this round shape. You've got this tree here which is missing from our scape. We need to close this line. We should put moss at the top and at the bottom here, and we're going to leave this open because this is going to go in between these crenata and the small crypts. Cool. So we've got the main piece now that Ozzy has prepared for us. You see my problem? Yeah, you see my problem, yeah? I know, but this is good, right? This is how it should stay. It looks like we're ready. The end point is not visible at all, right there. Actually, the Cyprus Hellfairy is blocking this background here. I don't want any plants to obstruct the view to the end point. That's very, very important with this scape. You lose the whole story of the scape if you lose the end point. This tank is in a really, really good condition. I'm missing the high plants here. As you can see that there's some plants that grow up to the surface. Ceratopteris thalictroides. I'm going to introduce that to the back. I'm introducing it with the ring. Don't tell anybody. And I'm going to have a second bunch and introduce it to the right side. We need to cover the top of the tank with branches. So we need to close this because in Josh Sims' tank there was nothing. I'm going to add the Nubias on it in order to have some detail. And another thing that I don't really like about this is the transition between the sand path and the plants. So we need to add a little bit more detail. I'm considering putting some pebbles in the picture, and I hope that you, Josh, will tolerate my changes. Stones. I'm going to add them along the path a little bit. I'm using the Frodo stone because sometimes that can have the right color that matches the black Sirius stones. I really like how this path is not continuous, it's closed. Right now it's continuous here. We need to adjust the background rock at the end point in order to look like a hill. You can see that I really need to work on a lot of detail. I'm not allowed to leave anything in the tank that would obstruct the view, that would make it look artificial. I just tore off some moss from the back and I'm applying it to other spots. And I've also got some Danelebica pebbles here. One more thing that I'm missing is the end of the left path. You should feel the forest going away from you. We need to add some pebbles in the line between the plants and the left side path. I really want to leave this path a lot cleaner than the other one to lead the eye towards the black background. We need to move these ferns a little bit back to open up the path. In the foreground on the right side, what I want to do also is to add a little bit more detail to that by adding plants in between the cracks of the two stones. I also pushed back the moss in between the wood pieces because the moss started to fill up that space. And if you don't see space, you will feel claustrophobic. Similarly, on the left side, we need to add some anubias in between the cracks of the black Riu stones. I need to lighten up the scape, so I need the trident because that's a brighter plant. We will need to add a little bit of sand in the background there. I didn't do anything special, I just poured in through the water. Another thing that I'm really missing from this scape is the overhanging roots. So we kind of have to put some roots that are coming down. You don't realize it when you're looking at it from a distance, but when you're looking up close, all that you realize is that it's not tidy. So it's not enough that you look at the tank beforehand and decide what to do. When you start working, you're gonna have twice as much tasks as you plan. I think we're ready with this one. Do we have time for another one? Although I'm not very happy with the change on the bonsai tree, we replaced the Alternanthera reynikimini to these Bucephalandras. It had to be done, because Alternanthera is not really an epiphyte plant, so it wasn't very happy on this tree. Ozzy tells me this is not Bucephalandra, it's Anubias. Right now, what we want to do is to have a 3-minute short cinematic of it, and we're going to prepare this tank for that. All right, let's do it. First of all, those were like 3 Eriocalium patches that are way overgrown. One of them is on the right side here, the second one is behind the tree, and the third one is right there. And we need to take them out, all of them, and we need to thin them and push some of them back. Okay, I'm replanting the Eriocalium now, just 1 patch instead of 3. I want the steps to be visible, so this glue needs to be covered. Secondly, we need to trim all the roots, maybe the lower roots mostly, of the Anubias, because they are hanging into the view. We had to do this every 4th day with the Alternanthera, otherwise the roots will go down to the bottom of the tank. Thirdly, we need to thin out, take off all the big leaves for all the crypts. And then we need to clean the foreground. We need to get rid of a lot of Ricardia that is in the foreground, and we can use that Ricardia in patches. I'm going to continue along the front glass, bringing everything in the back a little bit. I never thought that I will be bold and brave enough to just push the whole foreground back, but it works. I'm gonna see whether it fits. Oh yeah, it fits. Perfect. We need to put pebbles there and there. There was a cave in the background behind that Eurocalion. Now the main point of this tweaking session for this tank, the removal of the big aerial column bush from the cave. I'm very slow with this because I really want the suction to take away all the cloud. I'm sorry I had to do this.
Oh my goodness.
Can you already see the cave, Chubby? You cannot. Because of the crypt? Do I have to remove the crypt as well? That would be a disaster. We need to add back a little bit of depth to this. And in order to have that, I'm gonna pour in the pebbles, which are gonna lighten up this tunnel here. Let's glue. I need to glue some spots of Ricardia because I have some glue visible towards the top. I really want to do a terrace here. You can see some perspective to the right. Now the only thing would be to put a perspective to the left as well. I really like how the bottom part of the tank actually got much lighter and you have some details there. I really like the improvement on this one now. Six hours shooting and maintaining. So I'm going to ask Sebi whether he wants to do the next tank or not. No, he doesn't. You cannot touch the master's tools, Sebi. The master scissors, yeah. It's something that, you know, like in Japanese culture, you know how this works. You need to do like 2 years free internship for this. Oh, and one more thing. Many of you guys have asked my opinion about your tanks. And I'm answering really literally thousands of comments every week. This takes up all my time, answering YouTube comments. And I did not have time, and I still do not have time to look at aquarium images or aquarium videos. But I have a good news for you. I'm going to put an email address on the screen down here, and I will put the email address in the description as well. If you want me to look at your tank, just send me a video with WeTransfer, for example. Just make sure that you send the biggest file possible of your video, edited if possible. If you cannot do that, I'm going to try to edit it. And please also send me the following data of your tank. Tank size, filtration of the tank, what kind of lighting you use, what kind of plants you use, what kind of water change system you have, what kind of temperature you have in the tank, what kind of fertilization you use. So send me as many details as possible about your tank. I cannot promise you that I'm going to talk about all the tanks that you send me, but I promise that I will take a good look at those together with my friend Victor, and we're going to select a couple of them. I'm not sure how many, but we're going to talk about them, and we're going to analyze them, and we're going to tell you our honest opinion about it. I am really looking forward to talk about, I just checked whether it's not overflowing because it's still open, right? I need to close this. So I'm really looking forward to talk about one of your tanks here. And for those of you guys who stood here with me all the way to the end, I'm going to tell you what is my take on these two maintenance sessions. Every picture tells a story. We designed the tanks, we have a story in our minds when we set up the tank. And then nature will step in, and nature has a completely different story. The plants will grow, the soil will roll, the sand will cover, and the shrimp will just work on everything. So our job as maintenance team members is to bring back our story, to modify the tank, to bring back the original story that we had in our mind. For example, with Josh Sims' tank, we had to have the end point visible, we have the focus point of the whole tank visible, and we have a clear image, and we have a lot of detail that has disappeared because of plant growth. In the case of this tank, the 450 liter tank that I have it behind me here, the main story was a tree, and the focus point was actually a dark point, the cave in the background. That had to come back with taking the aerial column back, and also we had to lighten up the whole scape to accentuate the tree. So if you have pebbles in the foreground and at the bottom, then you have the tree visible more. Every picture tells a story. Make sure that you tell your own story with maintenance. Bring back the tank to the basics. That's the message. Please subscribe to the Green Aqua YouTube channel if you didn't do so yet, and hit that like button if you like this transformation. And also don't forget that we have a membership. You can support the video production of the Green Aqua YouTube channel. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.